What's good? Back with another episode of the Major Music Lounge podcast. Is your host Dee Dot coming at y'all with another episode. And today we're actually going to talk to Kendall Spencer. He's an artist based out of Florida. I actually came across Kendall Spencer on TikTok. I posted a video where it's kind of like I normally do, where I look for new people to come onto the show and interview, and he responded, and I went ahead and checked out some of Kendall's work. I took a look at Determination, which was a music video he sent me, and then I just kind of went down his YouTube and checked out some of his other videos, and he's been at it for quite some time. He has an amazing story as well that we're going to talk about. I'm here actually on his YouTube right now and just kind of reading some of his about section. Meet Kendall Spencer, a remarkable figure in the world of hip hop. As both an independent label owner and a talented artist, Kendall has navigated the industry with passion and determination. His journey, however, has been marked by profound challenges. In a life-altering event, Kendall survived a near-fatal work accident that resulted in the loss of his left arm and left him a burn survivor. Yet, rather than succumbing to despair, he rose above adversity, finding renewed purpose in his music and his role as a husband and father of three. So we're going to talk to Kendall just about his time making music and more. If this is your first time checking out the Major Music Lounge podcast, we like to talk to other music creators about maybe some of their releases. Let's also say they're content creators, and let's say they also might have experience in film and television publishing, for example, or sound designers, music production app developers. That's just some of the different guests that we've had here on the Major Music Lounge podcast. And if you're an artist interested in coming on the Major Music Lounge podcast, you could actually reach out to me on one of my socials, and that's going to be D._Major Music on Instagram, if you use Threads on TikTok, and if you're on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, it's going to be D.MME. If you like this interview, please go ahead, hit the subscribe button, and then go ahead, hit Kendall with a follow as well, and check out some of his work available on all platforms. We're going to talk about, again, I got it right here, Pearl's Prayers, and some of his music videos and more. So let's go ahead and get into that interview. All right, we are back with the Major Music Lounge podcast, joined by hip hop artist Kendall Spencer. What's good, my brother?
Um, Doing well, man. Just happy to be here. You know,
Definitely.
doing well, man. Can't complain. Can't complain, bro.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Same here. Same here. Definitely a pleasure to have you on. I got a chance to check out a lot of your work, and just checking out some of your IG as well. We're gonna get into some of your topics, but I always start off with the question about, how did you get started with creating music?
Um, it's just, hip hop was something that it just always something about it just resonated with my spirit, man. I used to be in a group before I became a solo artist. So, me and my partners, we would just sit around, we started freestyling in the car and everything. And we just built from there, and everything. It's the music is like a therapy session for me. It's an outlet, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It's like when you're in that booth and, regardless if you're right or just spit out the top of your dome, it's kind of like you're just letting out, some things that's in your heart, some things sometimes that's up here. So it's definitely therapeutic. Now, overall, like, when was your first release?
Um my first release as a solo artist was 2011, I believe.
Okay,
I
yeah.
did um I did a mixtape called The Longest Winter, and that was my first introduction as far as being a solo artist into this rap game on a serious note, taking it all the way serious, trying to pursue it professionally.
Yeah, because I went down like I checked you out on Apple Music and I saw you have like you have a lot of music, singles, EPs, albums. So I could tell that you've been at it for quite some time and have a really, really good work ethic. So, I definitely can appreciate that as an artist as well. Um,
Yes,
Now recently you came out with Pearl's Prayers. That was your latest
yes,
release. What was
yes.
your inspiration or your creative concept behind that album?
Um, I wanted to my Pearl is my grandmother, my late grandmother that passed. You know, I had the type of relationship with her I'm pretty sure a lot of you and maybe your listeners have had with their grandmother. I wanted to do a project to really honor her life. It was mostly for me and my family, and not just my family, but people worldwide, because grandmother in the Black community is like a matriarch of the family. So I really wanted to honor her. That would be like the short version of the story. It's a lot of it's a bigger backstory to it why I chose to do this project. If you really want to get into that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can get as deep into it as you like.
Well, July 2022, I was involved in a near fatal work accident. I was working. I used to be an electrical lineman, one of the people that worked on the power lines, and somehow I came in contact with the wire, and I was electrocuted. During that, I flatlined like 3 times that day, and I really feel like God gave me a second chance at life. And I feel like my grandmother, she left this earth a year before this happened. I really feel like my grandma was a praying woman. She was a very religious woman. I feel like she really personally talked to God, like give my grandchild a second chance. That's just how I feel after almost 2 years since that accident and how things have played out. So I was like, before I go any further in my career, I wanted to take the time out to honor her, you know, and that's why we did Pearl's Prayers.
Yeah, I took a look at it. I took a listen to it, and I really liked what I heard. And I gotta go
Thank
back
you.
and hear the full album. But that that determination joint that you sent me as well. That was a
Yeah,
pretty nice video as well. Just like it says, you're determined to continue doing what you do, continue making music, continue, being a father, husband, continue living life, man. And
yeah.
what went behind, was that accurate or, anything else behind the concept of that song?
Um, that's totally accurate. It was just, you know, us on Earth, not to get too deep, but you got to have a purpose out here. You know what I mean? And that track is really it's called Purpose Driven. And that's just what I feel like. Having a near death experience, man, it put things in perspective for you. You know what I mean? And I just feel like, I'm out here with a purpose. I'm determined, you know, I got to make the most of my time, and that was pretty much what that song was about. During my accident, I lost my left arm. This has been one of the hardest battles I ever faced in life. When I left the hospital, I never thought I would do music again. I thought it was over for me. I didn't know where to go when I left the hospital. It took me about a year and a half to come back in my studio here and actually start back up. And living with having to, live with a limb loss and wearing a prosthetic, shooting that video, bro, it was I didn't really want to do it, but I knew I had to do it, you know. And then once I got it shot and got it back, I almost didn't even put it out because I didn't want nobody to see me like that. But I said, you know what? Let me put this out and see what it do, and somehow it got like almost 80,000 views on my
Yeah.
YouTube. That's like the biggest anything I ever got to date. And I was just like, wow, it was amazing to me, man. Amazing feeling, you know.
Yeah, and that's a powerful thing. One, I commend you for getting back into the music because, I thought like, out of all the material that I went through, like, you're a very dope artist, man. And I think that
I
someone
appreciate it.
out there wants to hear your story and, you can also be motivation for somebody else, maybe
Yeah,
going through a
yeah,
similar situation as well. And,
yeah.
from
Go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
and I've never, like I've had a couple of things myself, but like I could never relate to anything that you're going through. But like, um, for me, I know that it was a lot of things that I went through mentally. Like having some surgeries and stuff, so it was hard for me to kind of get back into music myself. But it was something that, it's kind of like you were saying at the beginning, something that was therapeutic and got my mind off of things. And, and this was, as late as last year, 2023, really all of last year was kind of a wash for me. So,
Yeah.
I'm just 6 months back in myself, but like, yeah, man, you just never know who you can motivate and, going through your situation.
Yeah, that's kind of how I take it now is like I want to be like a voice for people that that deal with limb loss, a voice for tragedy survivors and not just people that been through stuff like that, but a voice for anybody because like we all go through things in life and it knocks us off our A game. We have to sit back and try to figure out where to go from here. And I want to be the person that's like, okay, this man has, had a near death experience. He lost his arm, and he still had the will to get up and keep it moving. So that's like my main goal now with my music, man.
Yeah, yeah, man. God bless you. And
Thank you.
you know, I got a chance actually. I noticed like 2 days ago, I was just checking out your IG and you did a performance or so. Was that last weekend?
Yeah, Saturday night. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, tell us a little bit
Yeah.
about that. That was your first time getting back out there and,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This was like I went to this thing called Empower Fest, and it's like a national conference for all type of amputees all over the world was at this event, and I was showing somebody my music video that actually worked for the people that threw it, and they was just like, man, it would be dope if you perform tomorrow night, and I'm like, I I was thinking about it, but I didn't have nothing physically prepared, so I was like, all right, let me think about it. And I went and talked to my wife. I told her about it. She was like, "You should do it." So I thought about it all night, and I got with my engineer. He made me a show tape real quick, and I performed. Man, it was like over 400 people in that ballroom, and I was nervous as I don't know what because it's been a while since I hit a stage, and I got like a great response from it. It was a surreal event. I mean, moment like serious, man. I'm so happy I did it. Serious.
Yeah, yeah, man. Glad you got out there. It's not like being on that stage as an artist. It's one thing to
Yeah,
make the music, yourself and see the release out, but it's another thing to get out there and just connect with people in the crowd and, just
yeah,
rock the stage, man.
yeah,
And kind of going back to your videos, I got a chance again, Determination, Blue Beacon. And there was
yeah,
another joint I checked out. I'm sorry I didn't get the name, but there was three videos that I watched. And man, looked like you've been having a following for a very long time. Like you got thousands and thousands of like views on those videos. Like is there anything you do as far as like marketing or promoting?
Yes, man, I didn't tried every trick in the book. You know what I mean? Like as far as marketing this music, I still haven't found like a for show thing that works. I got I feel like I know I have a small following. I feel like I wish it was bigger as us artists do. It's but I think a lot of it with me is just being I tried to just, create music that comes from my heart and being a
Right,
dope artist and being a relatable person, you know, just telling it just how it is and not trying to make up no gimmick or nothing like that. And it kind of worked for me. I kind of I kind of tried to find my target audience and actually just cater to them. And it took a long while to do that. I went through years of the Facebook tagging people,
right.
and people DMs, people that I know, and I never got nothing, no response from it. It wasn't until I started reaching out to strangers that it started growing. And really, this Pearl of Prayers album is like I have got the biggest response off this album than anything I have ever done. Like serious. That I could tell people are actually listening now. And not just listening one time, but going back and playing the album over and over. And that's kind of like what I wanted it to do. I wanted to create something where people would not just listen to me one time, but I wanted something that they would go back and revisit. So it's been a journey, man. It's just been trying new things, having to become a content creator. That's something that most of us artists, we reclusive people, and I just had to try something new, you know what I mean? And I'm still trying to figure it out, bro. Like serious.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you hit the nail on the head in terms of like artists being content creators and also, finding that target audience, that target fan that you can continue to make music for, and you're gonna pick up more and more people along the way. Of course, that's only natural,
Yeah,
if you continue working. But, I say that to say that a con or content creation is just kind of another added layer to getting those fans to see another side of you. This,
yeah,
it's another way to even get your fans to see a different side of you. So I always say like, the more the merrier. It all kind of goes hand in hand with each other, the content, the
yeah,
music, and everything in between.
yeah. I really I quit trying to be the big artist and chasing the big fame like the Jay-Z type fame. And I started concentrating on a smaller level. Like, okay, let me build right here at this level. And that's it seemed to be working more for me and trying to, like you said, trying to make one fan a day. You know what I mean? That's like my formula right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and fans really respect that authenticity, as an artist and a
Yeah.
creator. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Where you from originally?
I'm from South Georgia.
Okay. And that's where you're
Yeah.
at like right now? You live in Georgia?
No, I've been living in Florida and West Palm Beach, Florida for the last 11 years.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I haven't been out that way in a minute, man, but yeah,
Yeah, it's beautiful.
yeah, man. What kind of plans do you have like for the remainder of 2024? Because you just dropped this
Yeah.
Pearl's Prayers album recently.
Yeah. Um, I'm actually trying to really since I had to take a year and a half off through the mental process of what I've been going through, I'm actually trying to release 4 albums this year, man. Counting the Pearl's Prayers one, I'm like working my behind off every day, recording. If it ain't just nothing but coming up with an idea. Um, my next album, I want to get it put out by the end of July. As the second year, there's an anniversary of my accident. It's gonna be called a trauma center. So that's what's next up for me. Um, I'm finna start trying to shoot another music video for Pearl's Prayers,
Yeah.
a track off of there. I just ordered like vinyls. I'm finally getting my music put on vinyl. So I should have those back in August and just trying to work, bro. Cause like I said, man, waking up, going to work, you know, and ending up in the hospital, man, it showed me that like, boy, life ain't really promised, you know what I mean? Before my accident, I thought I had my whole life figured out. I thought I had a plan. And I was gonna go with that, and I'd be fine. And everything changed overnight. So it just left me with the mentality like, look, I can't waste no time. Let me get out here and try to do it. If I'm gonna try to do this music, I'm gonna go all in with it, man, and do as much as I can. So I'm working this year, man. Like I said, I want to do 4 albums. I'm hoping to at least get 3 of them done, you know. But I'm shooting for 4, like serious.
Yeah, man. I look forward to hearing, what's next, because like you're absolutely right, man. Like in the ripping and running of life, we never think anything could happen, on a day-to-day basis. So we have to take
Yes,
advantage of every moment that we have to create. And we talked about it earlier, just connecting with your fans and continuing to build. And it's not necessarily just like quantity, but also having that quality and making sure your message is connecting with those people as well.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I don't not now. I feel like now that I have a little following that's actually listening, I want to be able to feed them, and then you know how it is, man. Music is there's so much music out there, you get lost in the fog so easily. So I want to be, you know, when I say I want to put out 4 albums, I'm not just trying to put out 4 albums, just 4 projects. I want to make sure each of them is quality albums. You know what I mean? Just to show people that, that I'm not no fly by night artist. That I really earned my spot to be here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Now, hearing your sound, man, like, um, I kind of get that it's like I guess, a early 2000s hip hop vibe from listening to like your music. Who are some of like the artists that influence your sound?
Um, Most of them are, of course, I grew up on all of the greats in the 90s. Everybody in the 90s really influenced me. Here today, I kind of find myself listening to more, I would say, underground artists. I love, it's an artist, my number one artist I love is Mark Rock Marciano.
Yeah,
Um, it's a dude called Billy Woods. I'm really into his material. I don't really listen to mainstream artists too much because it's just what a lot of those guys are talking about. I'm not really into. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, I feel
All
you.
my favorite artists, they really have something to say, a message in their music.
Yeah, same as like and I've been that way for like there was years ago I decided to stop listening to the radio, of course, but like even like around that time I used to make like my own custom CDs. And then of
Okay.
course we started doing the playlists on the iPhones or the Androids, but like yeah, I don't listen to much mainstream music myself. It just
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't like years ago, I guess what you would consider mainstream in the 90s was more fulfilling to listen to
Yeah.
compared to now, what the mainstream is now. I mean, I may listen to like Kendrick, for example, You know,
yeah,
Kendrick's one, but it all kind of depends on, who the artist is. Um,
yeah.
Now, do you also do like production, or have you ever dabbled in production before? Or you work and
I
produce?
have I have dabbled in production before. Currently I work with producers. I work with different producers and stuff. Mainly one person at the moment, but I would love to get back into making my own production because I hear the music in my head all the time. I don't necessarily, even when I made beats, I didn't know what I was doing. I'm not the technical person. I kind of on what felt and sound good to me. But I kind of like built up a nice circle of producers, just reaching out to people on the internet, TikTok and Instagram, really. You know,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And they
my,
just,
not to cut you off, I would say my biggest expense with the music is buying beats, like serious, serious.
and respect, for saying that. I'm talking about like buying beats because like there's a lot of artists out there that whether it's independent producers, major producers, they feel that they don't have to purchase beats. And I feel
No,
I feel like there's gotta be, there's if there's gonna be some give, there's gotta be some take, in terms of
it is.
like as I'm an artist and I make beats, but at the same time, like I work with another producer and me and him have an agreement. Like he actually reached out to me to work and say, he wanted to produce some EPs for me. And, I'm like, cool, let's get to it. But like from
Yeah,
another artist standpoint, like um I I've bought beats from other producers just out of respect for the craft, rather
yes,
than, just wanting people to send me free beats.
yes.
Speak on just investing in yourself and how important that is as an artist.
I always figured that the fans they only gonna take you as serious as you take yourself. You know, you can hear it in a person's project if they really investing in themselves. And if you invest in yourself, you're gonna take this serious. So for me, I purchase beats because I don't want nobody out there to be rapping on the same beats I'm rapping on. You know what I mean? I want when you hear my project, it's all this is mine. So, that's why and I come from the 90s era when you had to buy beats. It wasn't no YouTube download beats, when I started doing music. So I guess I'm kind of old school. And like I say, I respect the producer. I respect the production side of this. You know what I mean? I've been working with the same producer since 2021, building with this same person, you know, and developing a relationship with this person and stuff. So that's what it's all about. That's why I do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta invest in yourself.
Yeah,
Even like from a production standpoint, um, we not only invest in all the gear that you see around us, but I mean software, new sounds, things like that. Some of us even going to like music producer conferences and things like that. So, and from an artist standpoint, you got to pay for studio, mixing, mastering, engineering, music
yeah.
videos, music promotion on both sides, whether you're a producer or artist. So there's a lot that
Yeah.
goes into it.
It is. It's a lot, and it costs a lot. I wish I had a partner down the street that could throw me beats. I still would pay him something, and I wish I had somebody to shoot my videos, but that ain't the case. I have to. Every aspect of this has been monitorized, especially nowadays. It's all a hustle to people,
It
and
is.
nobody don't want to do nothing for the love no more. Most people they want to charge you for this, they want to charge you for that. Me, I'm comfortable with receiving mine on the back end because I know what God got for me. It's gonna come one day. So You got an artist out there. You got to invest in yourself. Like I say, the fans know it, man. That's why I've been able to build a following. When others around me have are still spinning their wheels in the dirt because I really invest in myself, man, to make sure my package is A1.
Yeah. And if you hustle hard enough, you're gonna see a return on your investment. So
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And even the thing is, of course I want to make some money off of this. I done made a little bit of money, not enough to live off of, maybe pay a bill or two, but I just want, at least when my legacy is done, hey, man, this man, he didn't have step, what I mean? Everything was like it should be. I tell people all the time, if you want the fans that Jay-Z got, then you better be coming. You better not be, you can't have step. You know what I mean? Your sound got to be right. Your artwork got to be right. Everything got to be right.
and put in the work and invest in yourself. Put in the work and
Yeah.
invest. Kendall,
Yeah.
what is one message you'd like, our listeners to know about you, from being an artist, being a creator, experiencing everything that you experience in your life?
That, nothing, this whole thing is nothing. Success is not overnight. It take a lot of years and a lot of hours you got to put into this to get to where you want to go, and just always, I know a lot of people say believe in yourself, but it's real, man. Believe in yourself, man. Don't let just because you put out content and you may not get no likes or nothing, like no engagement, man, don't let nothing stop you, man. If you believe that you're supposed to be in that position, keep pushing and keep fishing, keep throwing that line out there. One day somebody you're gonna get that nibble, you're gonna get a bite. So that's like the main thing, just keep pushing, man. Because if I would have listened to naysayers, I wouldn't be right here today. It took for me believing in myself at first, trusting in God, and just going for it. So that's the message I would like people to, you know,
Yeah, keep pushing. I mean, some days gonna be better than others, but you're gonna
yeah,
have things in life as well that come up, and it's really, how you persevere through the good times and the bad times.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
That definitely says a lot about how you get through the bad times. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, that's the toughest
Definitely.
time. Uh, where
Yes,
can
exactly.
where can our listeners find your music at online, and where can they follow you at?
You can Google. I'm on all the social media apps. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. I go by Strong Arm Kendall on TikTok and Twitter. I mean, Instagram and Twitter. My TikTok account is the official Kendall Spencer, but you can just Google Kendall Spencer's music on Google, and everything should pop up. You should find a link to something, and once you find that link, you go down that rabbit hole. You'll see it gets bigger, it gets deeper. I've been very active on across all social media platforms for years and everything.
Yeah, please do go ahead,
Yeah,
hit Kendall with a follow. Check out Pearl's Prayers and the
yeah,
Determined music video. Check out the whole catalog. I went
yeah.
down that rabbit hole earlier, and like I said, I started watching one video, went down a list, started watching a couple of other videos, and I really like what you're doing, Kendall. And anytime you have anything, feel free to reach out to me.
I appreciate it, man. Like I say, I really appreciate the opportunity for you letting me be on your platform and everything, man. I seen your videos on TikTok and I was like, man, let me just reach out and see, and I'm very happy I did, man. Exactly, man. You definitely have a supporter with me and everything. I already then shared your stuff with a few of my people on Facebook just to try to let them know what you got going on, because that's what it's about. We helping each other out here. You know, it's enough. It's enough for everybody, man. And we're not gonna get there if we don't help each other out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I really appreciate that. And
Yeah.
if there's anything I can do, I'm there. I'm there, Kendall. So definitely let me
Yeah.
know, man. You can
Yeah.
follow me on Instagram at D._major music. Same thing on TikTok and Threads. And I'm actually on Twitter X at D.mme. And if you like this
Okay.
interview, please go ahead, hit Kendall with a follow, subscribe to his channel as well. And go ahead, subscribe to mine too. We put new interviews out pretty much every Friday on YouTube. So this has been another episode of the Major Music Lounge. D Dot and Kendall Spencer, and we're out.
Major Music.